would like to call to order this meeting of the Apple Valley Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee for June the 5th, 2025. At this time, I'd like to invite all those present who are willing and able to please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everyone. First thing we need to do is have an agenda for this evening, and I think everybody had a copy of it and has had a chance to look at it. There was one other thing that I wanted to add to it. Is that been added, or we need to do that?
You can do it right now.
We can do it right now?
Yep.
Okay. It was something that I brought up at the last meeting, and that's in regards to Redwood Park, the monument sign. That is not our responsibility. It's not our cost, but I was thinking that it might be a good idea for the committee to make an advisory to the city council to maybe start the process of the financing and design of that sign so that it can possibly be done with the conclusion of our redoing that park. The park is going to be a real eye changer to begin with, and I think having that sign there would be a great addition. And like I say, it's not ours, but I think we're an advisory committee, so we can advise the city council, and I think that would be a good idea. So I would like to add that that would be E, agenda item E. All right, so I need a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended with 5E added.
And
Second.
I have a motion by Dave and a second by Craig. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? And that passes. Next up is the approval of the May 2025 minutes.
Audience.
Oh, that's right. Well,
It's right there.
no, I can see that. I can see that. I guess I'm looking at the,
No problem.
Lack of audio.
I just thought, well, we might as well just skip over.
No, can't skip the audio.
Yeah, okay, so we have time for audience participation, which we do every meeting. Looking out at the gallery, I think we don't have anyone here that is looking to speak to us tonight. Again, just a reminder for anyone that might be watching us, if you have any suggestions, ideas, anything that you'd like to share with the committee, we would love to hear from you. Again, first Thursday every month, 7 p.m., we're in the City Hall, so come down and see us. We would love to hear your ideas and thoughts. So now we will go on to the approval of the May 2025 minutes, if that's all right.
Perfect.
Okay. Have you all had a chance to look at those minutes? Are there any changes or additions that you think need to be made? If not, I would look for a motion to approve the minutes for the May 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Moved by
Randy Bailey.
the guy with the wet feet. All right, I have a motion by Randy,
Second.
second by Dave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And that passes. All right, we are at the agenda items. First is the committee's annual report. And I guess that is Kayla.
Yeah, I didn't know that until today, so me. Mr. Chair, members of the committee, so annually, one of our city ordinances requires you, as a committee, to prepare an annual report of all of the things that you did in 2024, or each year. This year is 2024. And so staff have put that together on your behalf, just taking a look at all of the things that you have all accomplished over the past year and looking through our agendas and our minutes and everything that you did. So we put that together on your behalf, and it's customary for you to approve that before we pass it off to city council for them to approve it. So I can stand for any questions that you might have about that report, and then we can move on to the department report.
Can we get a copy of that report?
Yes, yep, so that report was included with the link of the whole
Okay.
packet, but I'm happy to provide you one if you'd like.
It's just tiny.
Yes, so I've got a copy right here and I can give it to you.
Awesome, thanks.
Are there any questions?
Any questions? I guess not.
Okay, so then I will have you make a motion to approve it,
Okay.
or not, if that's how you so decide. And then we'll move on to the next item.
Make a motion to approve the committee's annual report that has been prepared for us.
All right, I have a motion by Craig.
I'll second that.
I have a second by Noel. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is now passed.
Thanks for taking care of that.
That was great work, Kale. It was interesting to read. I liked it.
Great. So then moving right along to, Mark, I don't mean to take over your thunder here.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, you have the floor.
The department report is the next item on the agenda, and that is, the committee's portion of the report is at the beginning of that report, as you are part of an extension of our department and the work that we do. So your portion is at the beginning, and then the rest of that report is kind of a fleshed out, detailed description of what the department has accomplished in 2024. And again, as with the committee's report, we look for you to take a look at this, and if you so choose to approve it, then it will go to City Council for their approval. So if you have any questions about the department's annual report or anything that was accomplished in 2024 by the department, I'm happy to address those questions. Otherwise, staff may also chime in if they have things to say.
Any questions?
But it's a great report. I mean, you guys did an awful lot this year.
Thank you.
All right, I'd look for a motion to approve the department's, what's it called?
Annual report,
Annual report.
kind of a mouthful.
So moved.
I have a motion by Dave,
Second?
second by Craig. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, before you move on, just want to give a positive shout out to Kayla. Kayla gathered all that information and data. She set it up. She got the pictures. She designed it, put it all together. And so I think it really looks really good. And I think it does a great job of letting the community know what you accomplished as a committee and what we accomplished as a department. So just want to publicly say thanks, Kayla, for putting that together. You did a great job.
Very good. Thanks, Kayla.
Is that available for the public to see on the website?
Once the council approves it, next Thursday, then we will replace our 23 report with the 24 report on the website.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are up to division updates, aquatics in youth and family. Looks like that is Nate Rosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Committee. Nate Rosa, Recreation Superintendent. Today, we're going to do an update on the Splash Valley Water Park. Steve Skinner, who is our Recreation Supervisor that oversees the facility, put this together for us, but he is training our staff tonight so that we may open tomorrow bright and early for water walking. So again, just introducing Splash Valley Water Park. It is no longer the Apple Valley Family Aquatic Center. So we have rebranded. We have our nice mascot themed otter, and then our new logo and moniker and icon that are seen up on the board right now. Again, new look, facility and landscape improvements. We added a lot of stuff in here for cooling for ease. You'll notice right on the side of the building here, this is where a lot of our patrons would line up before we opened. We have moved that sidewalk right up against that building there to allow for them to be underneath that overhang for shade right off the bat. This picture's taken around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so right around 11 though, it'll provide more shade for that area. And then to the left on the photo here is our brand new marquee sign, if you will. Nice little bench area. I want to thank the committee here for helping design this and put some of the final touches on there. You'll see that our logo is that bottom left corner for the Parks and Recreation Department. Then we have the new Splash Valley logo on the log to the right there. We're looking forward to a lot of our patrons coming down to that park and then jumping on there, or sitting on there, I should say, and then grabbing their photo, then helping us market that, post that online, and just show us the good times and good fun that they're having at our aquatic park, water park for us. New look throughout. Again, this is our admissions area. We are ADA compliant throughout this entire complex here. To the right side of here is that ADA area that we're looking for, and we'll touch a few more points on that in the later screen on it. But really brightened up the area on there, all new paint colors, all new flooring on there, all new branded signing, and just wayfinding for staff, patrons, everyone to find their way through that facility. Part of that new look is, again, our improved ADA changes. To the left there, you'll see we've got a double rail that's close to each other. We have this in our front plunge pool, also in our lazy river. That is an ADA compliance addition for those that might need assistance getting into the water until they're inside for buoyancy. To the right there is what is our universal changing table. That is meant for adults or other people that might need that for access on here. So again, being ADA compliant, trying to be as inclusive as possible. That is in one of our 2 family changing rooms, and then has additional signage on there for people to find their way. And so again, adding new features for patrons that might need those amenities within our facility. New look again on our branding. You'll see that all of our stuff here's got the blue waves throughout, all of our signage, and then we have the new logo that's on all of them as well. One of the things that we heard from the public and from the committee here was, what can we do to dress up our lazy river? So if you look in there, we have a bunch of new plantings throughout there, and then we also have 4 additional of our otter statues. We got the one up here showing us excitement, saying yay. We've got the lazy otter who's over the pipe on the bypass river. We did also move that pipe to the bypass versus the main channel so that you can flow through that water park without that lazy river without having water splash down on you. Again, comments that we received from the public in order for us to try and make this more enjoyable for many people. And off to the left of this photo, you can't see it. There's an additional otter laying outside. In the very back there, we have a cute little one of an adult otter and a child otter as well. We also touched many aspects of this facility that aren't shown to the public. One of them being our mechanical upgrades. We did remove all of our filters, and we've gone to this high efficiency filter here. We replaced 4 filters with this one. So again, that is very environmentally friendly to us. It's less water waste, it is less chemical usage, and it is also more energy efficient for this as well. We have this new Defender style in our front pump room that does the main pool, then also a secondary one on its own in the back pump house that cleans for the serpentine slide, bull slide, and also our lazy river. We did some solar upgrades on the roof on here. It's hard to see in this picture because the paint color that was chosen for it kind of matches it well, but that wasn't very intentional. It helps hide those solar panels, but with this we were able to helped offset some of our energy usage during the season, and then during the off season, those will still work and we'll be able to put power back to the grid. So again, trying to be environmentally friendly, forward thinking on here, what can we do to better make our facilities more efficient and more environmentally friendly? You'll see again throughout here, we've added a lot of plantings throughout the entire complex. We'll touch it a little bit later here, but on that wall to the left there, you'll see a new feature that's going to come up in one of our final slides up here. Again, exterior improvements to create a more harmonious look. We've added that shade structure out in front of our concession stand. There will be a sign that goes up there later. I just didn't make it into this photo on time. But again, we colored the buildings a darker color. That is to try and hide them in the background and then make the park itself the focal feature on here. We have brand new pops of colors on all of our slides, on some of our furniture, on our new play features that go in the water. We'll get to those in a minute, but really wanted to tie everything together versus having all of our buildings with different colors on here. We did resurface all of the slides. We did receive some comments like, hey, when were the slides replaced? We were actually able to salvage the previous ones. Some best practices show that just recoating them with a gel coat, changing the color on here is something that will give us another 15, 20 years out of these as well. with this as well, best practices show to have the interior of the slides white, so we did go that route because it shows less fading, shows less usage on there, and it just gives that brighter, more inviting color on it. So you'll see throughout, every one of the slides was touched. You know, we had some greens and some dark maroons and different things of that nature. So we've gone with our blues, our purples, and our oranges. They're all complementary colors that were given to us in our brand board when we did the rebranding of the facility, so that we have our primaries, and these are where we're using our secondary colors.
Can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Maybe it's stupid, but the inside of those tubes, how did they paint those?
They climb through them. So,
Are you kidding?
Not kidding. They climb through them, and one of those things where they had safety harnesses, everything else met all of our OSHA requirements and did it in a safe manner. But yes, they had to go through them on hands and knees.
Okay.
The hardest part, the drop slides were difficult, but the serpentine slide was even more difficult. Here are our new shallow water play features. Again, with the marketing and branding, we did remove all of our old play features. The beloved Dino slide, we did actually repurpose that and put it up for auction. There is a resort somewhere up in the northern woods that bought all of our old water features. So again, those are being repurposed. They did not land in a landfill, and they have a secondary life in another resort. Here you can see we've got our EF100, which is the apparatus off to the right. That there has different water features, a smaller turtle tippy bucket. There's little spots that children or anyone that wants to use that can cover the little spots on there, and it'll redirect the water, add pressure to one thing or another, and might shoot you in the knee, might shoot your friend on the other side of that in the chest, might just spray water all over that. The middle apparatus is our tippy bucket, is one of one. It's a nice 20-foot tall, 9-foot wide, but in building this here, I will call this a gentle line, if you will, probably a gentle otter. But with that, it's a big structure. It does dump a lot of water, but there's a diffuser bar in front of that separates that as well too. So personally tested, personally approved. It's one of those where the water is not a forceful downfall on everybody. So it's a nice, great new feature that anyone of any age should enjoy. Off to the left of this photo here is our slide apparatus that we've added to this. Again, it has an ADA component to that as well, where there's a transfer station on the middle platform for that, so people can access that apparatus. We have slides on there. You can't quite see them in there, but in the front of that slide there is some little water tables, and so our youngins could come up to there, and different play features will be on there. Put your hand on this, water shoot out of that, redirect this to turn this or that or the other thing. And there's some other little hidden things on top of that deck there, where if you stand on one, it shoots water out of another thing. If you put your hand on one, it'll shoot water out of the other side. And then all around that, there's spray features that will make that an enjoyable area for everybody. Greatly increased our shade throughout the park. So that was one of the big comments that we heard from a lot of people. We're seeing this online too for our social media. There is 4 shade structures that have been added, 2 over the water, 2 on the deck that are basically on a first come, first served basis. We did add additional shade structures that are rentable, or some of them are, if they're open, feel free to use them. And as you can see in here too, we've added 100 additional chairs to this entire park. We did repurpose the chairs from Redwood Pool, being that is offline for this year, and brought them over here. We also added 50 of these new upright chairs that are shown in this picture by the orange chairs and the blue chairs. We added 50 of the little side tables that you can see in between that first set of orange and blue chairs throughout the park as well. Again, comments that we see from the public, looking for different places to sit, put something down, really trying to be customer focused when we did a lot of the upgrades in this facility. This is our new birthday party pavilion. This is where we're looking to have many of our patrons come and enjoy their birthday party with us. So we have birthday party packages that we put together. This is by reservation only as well, but we're looking forward to many people here for that. We have food packages that go with that as well. The package itself comes with 10 entries. Ice cream for everybody for that 10 entries, and then the birthday person will get a special little surprise. River cabanas. So on the southwest corner of our lazy river, we added 4 cabanas that look like this. What we have on here, there's 6 lounge chairs, 2 upright chairs, and 3 of those little side tables for people to rent. Those are, for 2-hour blocks, it's $60 for that block, a very reasonable rate on here, and 4 of those, they're on that back corner of the facility there. So again, we had cabanas before, people like them. We chose, when listening to everyone, we chose to upgrade those, make them bigger, and we have a 4th additional one this year.
And those can be reserved online?
Those can be reserved online. Should you come to the park, there's some signage that'll be out there that'll show if it's open or reserved, and there'll be a name on it. So if you should arrive and you see that one of them is open, you can feel free to stop at our admissions counter and then reserve it at that time. They're designed for roughly 6 people, intended for 6 people in there with the chairs that we have in there. New this year are season passes. We are piloting those in 2025. We encourage everyone to come out and grab one. It's something that we heard a lot from the public that, hey, are we ever going to have season passes at the Aquatic Center? Well, now at the water park, we will have season passes. Again, we talked about it earlier, we do have drinking fountains that have been added to both the north and south bathhouses. We do have an ADA accessibility with the different heights of them, and there's also a bottle filler there as well. And again, we did improve layout inside of the concessions. I know we did the tour earlier today. The intent of that is to increase flow inside of that facility, so we have shorter wait times for people as they come up and order foods. We've added fountain soda back in. We've added additional ovens so that we can cook a frozen pizza in 2.5 minutes to done. So I tested that myself, and I approve that as well. We've also added some other features in there that'll just, again, make it quicker for patrons to come in and get their food and not wait so long in line.
What is the birthday surprise?
It's a surprise. You'll have to book your birthday with us, and we'll go from there.
Are you unfamiliar with the concept of a surprise?
I am merely running it past us.
So we are looking at having a towel that has our logoed with our on it.
That's a great surprise.
We're looking at potentially another shirt, fun little tagline we're working on is, you ought to have your birthday party at Splash Valley Water Park. I did. And then it'll have a picture of an otter there with a party hat. So again, we're not showing that yet. So that part will still be the surprise, but those are the avenues and angles that we're looking at.
That's good sales. Cool.
What does for the season passes, are those just for regular entry, or do they count towards any of the other special things that you guys do during?
Yeah, so being that we're piloting it this year, we wanted just to see how that goes. So they are for just the regular hours, the 11 to 6, 7 days a week while we are open June 6th to August 20th. They do not include for water walking. They do not include for any of our after hours, before or after hours water walking, or any special events that we might have throughout the season on here. They do not work for our parent tot time that we have in the mornings and afternoons, but we do have different pricing for those. The 10 punch passes are available and can be used for those different times. And then for the parent tot one, for every child, those are ages, birth till 6, every child that comes with it, any paid child gets an additional 1 free adult with that. So that is an easy way to get, and that's a 2-hour block before we open for the general public, so that our little ones can come in there, enjoy the park, and not get trampled over.
How about somebody goes online, they set aside one of the overhead shade areas, or they do the birthday deal, but it is raining. Do they get their money back?
Yeah, so we'll work with them to see what the weather looks like. We'll monitor that. If it's something where they still want to come out and we're on that iffy spot and we can still stay open, we'll try to get them in. But if they want to have a reservation changed to a different date, we'll look to see if we can do that. Otherwise, we would refund for that as well.
Okay.
And then back to the season passes, another one that we have on here. So we have our resident rate, we have our non-resident rate. We also have our caretaker pass. So for those that have, small children that either have a nanny or a grandma, a grandpa, a partner, someone that comes out and watches it, that pass is interchangeable, if you will. So one day the nanny can use it, the next day mom can bring the child, the next day dad can bring the child, and so on and so forth. It's only one entry at a time, so it's not, 2 people, 2 parents, or the nanny and the parent can show up and use it at the same time. But it is designed so that you only have to buy that one pass for that caretaker. And again, the child can have their own pass, but anybody allows for multiple people to bring that child in. We are also taking photos with our season passes, so that is something that we can make sure that the right person is using it. And season passes can be ordered online, but will be picked up at the aquatic park on your first visit. That way we can put a photo of you into the system as well. So we ask that you go order online, do not show up to City Hall or the community center to grab that. You'll be able to get that on your first visit to Splash Valley Water Park.
How does the picture system work with the nanny pass?
So the nanny pass for the caretaker, the picture on that one, we won't put a picture in through that. And again, that's going to be the honor system on there. We'll work through that as well. Prior experience, past practices show that there's not much of a concern for that. The people that really go after that pass use it for what it's intended for.
How has interest or demand been on season passes so far?
Yes, so as of today, we had just shy of 300 passes. So for our first inaugural season, that is, before we even open, that's a good start. And we anticipate having additional passes that get bought throughout. Let's say you show up to the water park and you buy the daily pass. You pay your $14 to get in. If you keep that receipt, we'll actually allow you to come back that you're like, you know what, this is awesome. I want a season pass. We'll take that $14 and we'll add it towards your season pass as well.
So that's something that would be like printed on the receipt so the customer would see that, or is there going to be like a sign for that or something?
That's something we'll have some signage on the counter when we go through that. It won't be a permanent structure on that, but yes, we'll get that information out to people.
How many passes do you have to sell this year to make it worthwhile? And
That is not, that is not just the pass itself, it's how many times have those passes been used as well. So at the end of the season, what we'll do is we'll look at all the information, we'll meet together, determine, do we move on with this pass, and are there any other options that we can do with that season pass as well?
I would just like to say, job very well done. I mean, that looks like a brand-new facility out there. It really does. I mean, and part of it was an old facility before, and it was really showing its age, but I think you guys did an outstanding job of making that look good. Question I would have is, I guess our main competition is Cascade Bay. That's kind of a dated facility now, too. I've never been there. How do we compare with Cascade Bay? I mean, in terms of admission, do we know how many people they have? Are people from Apple Valley going there in the past, or how can we capture some of that?
Okay, so we've been working on our marketing. We do have in our Val packs that most of us get in our mail here. We started off with one in June. Thank you, Randy. It is for our birthday party packages. So that is how we're starting with some of the promotions right now for June. We do have a BOGO coupon that's going to go out in those Val packs as well. That'll be good for July and August. And those will be from 1 o'clock on, buy one pass, get another one in on there. Other ways that we're looking to rise ourselves to the top on here, again, we've added some of the amenities that our competitors have, and we've changed some of the things that we're going to offer that they don't offer. And so hopefully our patrons will see that, like, you know what, I'm going here now. Again, we've changed the branding on there. Apple Valley Family Aquatic Center doesn't roll off the tongue as well as some of our competitors' name or our brand new name, Splash Valley Water Park. So that was very purposeful on doing that rebranding and making it more friendly to all ages, all groups, everybody on there. Other things that we're doing on here too is, we've added the shade structures, right? We have probably the most shade out of any of the water parks that I'm familiar with in our area. So word of mouth should get this out right away. Working very closely with our communications team. If you've jumped onto the city's Facebook page and our Parks and Rec Department Facebook page, you'll see a lot of little snippets that come through there. We're going to continue to add those fun little excitement things in there. Here's this, here's that, what's the next thing on there. Other ways to make sure that, we can rise to the top. One of our current features is we do allow people to bring in food and beverage. A lot of our competitors do not. And so that is a value added that we offer. We are changing some of our menu items, looking at trying to have some competitive meal deal prices or combo prices on there too. So that again, for those that want to come to us that might have a financial barrier, if you will, we're trying to do our best to limit those with the BOGOs, with trying to reduce some of our prices. Our Recreation Wellness Fund will be coming online soon, so people can use that if you're if you're a resident of Apple Valley towards one of our season passes. So again, we're trying to find ways, we're adding different ways to add that value to everyone.
I got a question for you. So in the past, we do a lot of traditionally advertising on our city website, our Park and Rec website. However, if somebody types in South Metro Water Park and we had our own site that really was able to lay out pictures, everything, I think it would be more effective. I think, does Valleywood have their own site?
Yes.
Okay. Very similar to that concept.
We do have our own landing page right now. The entire city as a whole, we are revamping our entire website, so it is an ongoing product process too right now. Ours is coming up soon for our entire Parks and Recreation page, so we will be addressing some of those features on that page to try and highlight it better. If you go on Google right now and you type in Splash Valley Water Park, it pops up right away over some of our competitors too, if you look at it. So we are looking at that marketing, trying to find ways to optimize our name on those different websites as well.
Okay.
How is our admission compared to Cascade Bay? Are we pretty much the same, or?
So a lot of different pricings for our neighbors to the north there. They have a price that's a little bit lower than ours, but that's only for half the day. Okay. Ours, if you want a full day, there's a higher price, much higher price, so you have to pay for that. For us as well, we have those BOGO coupons that we're offering in July and August. So again, that will beat our competitor. With our season passes on here, we've got our setup here that allows for those that really want to utilize the park. They're well priced. We spend a lot of time looking at that to make sure that we're in an affordable, but also an acceptable price range for all aspects of that.
So we don't have a non-resident fee that we charge, so it wouldn't cost them more to come from Egan to?
There's additional, it's a $10 difference. So our resident rates, our non-resident rates are $10 in price. So we do have different rates for our season passes. But for our daily admissions, there is no resident, non-resident.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, I have a BOGO pass in the packet because we want them to come. Why don't we just have BOGO days?
We could go down that route. Some best practices show, having it for the everyday for the certain time frames allows for that to function at a better operation. For if we just have a day, it's one of those things someone might not be able to make that day. So having every day with that BOGO on the after 1 o'clock allows for more access for more people.
Okay, have it every day. You don't have to have the pass though.
That's part of our marketing. So with that as well, you actually can go online to valpac.com, type in Splash Valley Water Park, and once those come online in July and August, then you can use those BOGO passes from that as well.
Oh, okay.
For those that may not receive that in the mail.
Similar to what Seavers does, Seavers Corn Maids. You go on their website, you can print it off.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's a dual purpose. It is a BOGO coupon, but it's also marketing and advertising for us.
I get the marketing point. That's entire life.
Any other questions?
Not a question, just wanted to say that with this rebranding, I think you're very well positioned to be a true destination for family fun south of the river, if not the Twin Cities Metro. So nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like a destination
Yeah, it looks great.
instead of a pool. Yeah.
Good work.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members here. And then just a thank you to everyone that's been involved on here. I mean, this was truly the entire team. Our maintenance, boots on the ground, doing all the hard work, getting the day-to-day stuff ready, working with us to decide, hey, what's the best practice for this from a maintenance angle? What's the best practice from this from a staffing angle? I want to thank Eric for running the numbers on here and directing us on there, Kayla for doing all of our contracts, Steve for overseeing the maintenance and helping out that, and then Brian's expertise, he's worked on some of our other projects, greatly helped on getting us through this as well. And then our staff, we've got Bill Bird here, we've got Mia, our summer coordinator, we've invited everyone to have their eyes on here. I want to thank the public first and foremost for passing that 2023 bond referendum. This does not happen without them. I want to thank the PRAC committee here for all your support and guidance for stuff that we've done, making the decisions on this. Thank our city council for backing and supporting this and pushing it through. And all of the architects that helped us out, all of the design people that helped us out, the public for all their feedback and input, not just voting for it, but giving us those comments. I'd like to see A, B, C, and D. So this truly is a gem for the community that the community voted for and decided on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Okay, next up is agenda item D, Kelly Park update.
Yes.
I don't know.
Where'd Kelly go already?
No,
No, youth and family.
youth and family. Did we move right on?
No, we're on C part 2.
The
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of Apple Valley Parks and Rec Committee. My name is Mia Sorensen, the summer coordinator, and this is my supervisor, Bill Bird. Today, we are here to talk about highlights and the overview for the youth and family programming and some special events. Some of the program snapshots, we'll talk about youth programs and camps, family programs, open gyms, and special events. With youth and family programs, something we aim to do is provide something for everyone, whether it be camps, open gyms, or early childhood activities. And something we're looking forward to is during the summer. We have some opportunities during our big special events. That includes Freedom Days, music in KELLEY Park, the food truck festivals at the end of summer. So all things to look forward to. I will pass it along to Bill Bird to talk over some.
Greetings, Mr. Chair and Apple Valley Parks and Recreation Committee. I'll get into one program, the Little Orchard Preschool. We've had a preschool in Apple Valley. Let me move to the microphone. I would estimate 35 plus years. We are bringing that to a closure. We do have the CAP agency in our facility doing a preschool as well. So we've just, like a lot of things in life and recreation programs, things change. So we are focusing our attentions in the preschool area on some other programming and activities, as well as when we have the indoor playground available, that'll be a new option for preschool age 2. The preschool programs, we had our own separate preschool educational facility, but we also do offer preschool programming, and they are focused around different themes. It's kind of a hybrid of education but recreational. And this will be expanding, and we'll be using some of our elements of the Little Orchard Preschool to continue building on our preschool programming. Camps. It's that time of year where our camps are kicking in the next week or two. Our 3 main areas, we've got some sports camps, we have themed camps and trip camps, and we've got a week-long day camp, which is off-site. Our goal for this area was to offer times that worked for parents, parents that work, parents that don't work, a lot of options with timing as well as price points. So we're playing around with that this year. We expanded our all-day camp opportunities this year, and we're seeing good results with that so far for registrations. So that's the camp area. The other price point, we have a simple playground program set up, which is our most affordable option for the kids to get out of the house, interact with other kids, for a half a day. So that's a good option as well. Did you want to jump back in?
Yes, I'll jump back in and talk some about the puppet wagon. So we hope to increase the attendance this year. I'm hoping to raise about 100 more people. We had some rain last year that was unable. We had to cancel some of the events, but things look good this year. So our top attendance was KELLEY Park with 390 people, so that was very good. We have a lot of daycares that attend, as well as other families that are coming in, grandmas, grandpas that are bringing their little kids. And I've spoken with many people at tabling events, and they are always very excited about all the puppet shows to come. And then some of the highlights. The Puppet Wagon has had many stops, and people's favorite were Freedom Days, Music in Kelly Park, and Night to Unite. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that it's starting its 47th year, so that is something to be very proud of. I mean, we've been around for a long time, and we're hoping to still continue. So stay tuned for free shows for all ages.
And I'm going to continue. One exciting thing that we did at the tail end of last year is we got away from a gas-powered generator on the Puppet Wagon that powered our lights inside the Puppet Wagon and our sound system. By the end of the year, we were fully using rechargeable power pack. There's different names for them, but we were able to run off of battery power almost all week for our shows, which was pretty amazing. Then we took it to another level. This off-season, the park maintenance department installed a solar panel on top. I was out there today, our first attempt, it was already charging. The staff was out there organizing, practicing. I'm willing to bet that we'll never have to plug our battery source in all summer, which is pretty neat. No more fumes and gas and trying to start a generator and all those good things.
Noise, I'm sure.
So that was really, what's that?
I said in noise, I'm sure.
Yeah, noise,
Gas
yeah,
generators are
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, depending on what way the wind was going, yeah, it was noisy. So that's I was really excited to see that work today in person. Open gyms, thank you. Open gyms, they are held every day throughout each week. The preschool open gym, I'm not going to get too deep into all these, but it's mostly open play. We offer some toys and climbing devices and different things like that, dress up clothing and things like that. It's mostly open play. We do offer occasionally, we offer some holiday activities and things where Klondike makes an appearance from Midwinter Fest or Santa or things like that, just to add some excitement. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It goes down to just one day in the summer because it's nice out and people are playing outside. Youth and family open gym. Youth open gym is highly attended. We're at the point where many days we have to shift into 2 full gymnasiums. So that's very popular. It's a free program. One other trend that I've noticed in the last 2 years is volleyball. Volleyball is taking it plays a prominent part of Youth Open Gym now, where it used to be on occasion. We have volleyball going on every day, boys and girls, so it's pretty interesting. And the Family Open Gym is, that's offered every day. And along with all these open gyms, our goal is to maximize our gym use, maximize opportunities for the community. So we do have bonus days where we are open when school district-wide, if the school is out, we have bonus days and times for all our open gyms. So, and that's proven to be pretty popular. Oh, thanks. Special events. We have, I'm going to focus on just our main larger ones. Midwinter Fest, brutal cold year this year. People still had a good time, but it was very cold. We continue to grow that event and try new things, and it's an exciting event that's all outdoors primarily now. So that's a good challenge for us each year to kind of refresh in that one. Freedom Days is right around the corner, about a month. One area I'm responsible for is the 2 and 5 mile fun run, and everything is the same this year. Time, age categories, those things. The big change, we had to move locations because of the construction going on at Hayes Park in the community center area. So we have relocated over to Johnny Cake Ridge Park on the east side. That's where the start and finish will be. We have a 2 and 5 mile route on that part of town. And pretty much everything's gonna be the same except for the route. So the Food Truck Festival was our first last year, and it went, I would say, extremely well. Had a little rain at the beginning, but then sun came out, picked up. We had probably about 1,000 people, I would say, 10 food trucks. A lot of great feedback. I can tell it went well when the vendors that were there are calling and emailing me to come back, so that was a good sign. Music in Kelly Park, I think they're in their 27th year. We partner, the city partners. We're great partners as far as providing music in Kelly Park. This year, we do have to shift another construction project within Kelly Park, of course. Our June through August concerts will be at Kelly Park, but the 2 September concerts, including the Food Truck Festival, will be at Quarry Point Park this year. And I believe that is it, and we just put up a peek at some of our activities and events, and if anyone has any questions, we'd love to answer your question.
I will just say, I do a lot of bike riding in the summertime, and so I do get around to some of the parks, and occasionally I run across the puppet wagon.
Oh,
The crowds that are there love it.
yeah.
I mean, they have a very captive crowd, and they are, sometimes it's not a huge crowd, but the ones that are there, they love it.
Yeah.
So that's a great job.
Thank you. One thing that I've noticed too is the feedback that we get that we're into new generations. There's parents there that attended the puppet shows as kids, and they have kids now, and it just kind of, we're into 2 and 3 generations of puppet wagon attendees.
How do you choose the puppeteers, or?
We have an interview process. A lot of them have theater background. A lot of them have theater and public speaking and speech and debate background. So they're very, very talented and artistic too.
Are they high school?
High school and college.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Great. All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, thanks.
Well, after screwing up item C, now I think we're ready to go on to item D, Kelly Park update.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, no slides to show you this. Oh, I guess we do have some slides. Sorry.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
No, you're fine. Get a little update on Kelly Park. So Kelly Park's going to start construction here. Kelly Park will start construction here in July. Again, we're working on Kelly Park. It's going to have a new playground, a performance stage, a splash pad. We're going to have some solar and reusing the water from the splash pad for the irrigation of the park. On the screen, on the stage, we'll have a 25 by 15 video screen, and obviously work closely with the Apple Valley Arts Foundation because of music in Kelly Park. So again, we'll begin construction in 2025 in July. It won't be the entire park. It'll just be basically the western portion of the park, which is where the new stage is going to be going, and then everything south of where the playground is. That'll start in July so that we can preserve the space of the playground, the splash pad, and the stage, the existing stage area for the concert series. Then come the end of August, the entire park will be under construction. We hope to be back up and running Kelly Park in the spring or the summer of 2026. This is what Kelly Park looks like today if you were to fly above. And this is what Kelly Park will look like when we've got it completely made over. This is a rendering of what the stage will look like. Not only do we plan to continue to host the Friday night Music in Kelly Park concert series, but we also plan to start a few new programs such as a Movies in the Park series, turning on a sporting game, whether it be the Twins or the Vikings on a given day or an evening, inviting folks to come and just enjoy watching the game on the large screen in a park with your friends. We're guessing that there'll be some food trucks involved and things like that. So we're looking forward to those types of opportunities once we're back open again. Just kind of another image of a concert. This is just the stage layout. This is the restroom facility. You can see kind of the spray ground in the background. The spray ground in the background doesn't really do the new spray ground justice because there will be nothing above ground in the new spray ground. It'll all be jets shooting from the ground, if you will. There'll be lights, interactive lights. So it should be very interesting, lots of fun. There's a few other communities that have this type of spray ground, and they're very popular with those communities, and we expect it to be that way in Apple Valley as well. This just shows the solar panels that will be on the roof and just the layout of the restroom facility. And so we're still conceptually working on the playground equipment. We had a meeting today about it. So we don't have any new updated images, and I can tell you that the new updated images look significantly different than the ones we're showing you right now. We will be getting those updated images tomorrow. We'll be sending out some information to folks. We do have an open house on Monday night, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7:30 here at City Hall. For those that want to come and give us some feedback about what we're doing in Kelly Park, whether it be with the playground or some of the other improvements that we're making. And so we'd be happy to talk with folks, and we hope that people come and give us some feedback. This is another just kind of an image of what we're looking at. So this will be mostly wood structure. There'll be some plastic slides, lots of climbing opportunities, and the bears themselves that will be a part of this, there'll be play within the bears themselves. They're that big, if you will. And that's what I had for Kelly Park. And I can stand and answer any questions that people may have.
I got one, Eric. Just to prevent my fellow Rotarians from howling, I know the clock's going to be moved, but I didn't see on the image about where that might be.
Yep. Whoa, too fast. Can you back me up one, Kayla?
Yep.
So the clock is basically going to be in about the same spot, but if you can see the tip of the pointer that I've got there,
Yeah.
that's where the clock's going to be relocated. So it's almost in the same spot. So our construction manager, Kraus Anderson, one of their subcontractors is hired to take the clock, move it off site, store it, protect it, and then bring it back to the site and reinstall it when we're ready, when we're at that point of construction. There's also a rock there with Rick Kelly's plaque on it. That's who the park is named after. He's a former community development director in Apple Valley. That will be taken off-site, preserved, and brought back to the site when the time comes. Other questions about Kelly Park?
So 12 years ago, we started this Kelly Park project.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. This final project is almost identical to the original project. I mean, some of the things have changed, have been upgraded.
Subtle change.
But it's really neat that we held our vision. So that's great. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.
I want to say, really looking forward to adding like movies at the park, especially if there's, food truck support and stuff like that. I think that'll be a really popular activity and a really cool thing. I think that, there's not a lot of opportunities. There's not a lot of drive-ins around and that sort of thing anymore, but being able to go out and throw a blanket on the ground and hang out with family and friends and watch a movie will be cool. So
Yeah, great opportunity to build community.
Yep.
And food trucks will go anywhere that you ask them to come.
Yep. Just got to have people.
They're
Hungry people.
Not even. They'll just
Sometimes
show up.
thirsty people.
They'll just show up.
Eric, is there a reason why we had to wait till July to start on the entertainment venue?
So we've been working on a few other projects as well. And so just from a workload perspective, with all of our other projects,
Okay.
that's just kind of how it all worked out. And we're trying to time it so that we can be reopened next spring or next summer and not miss the concert season, if you will.
I just thought it might have been better you'd have more time to grow grass and do some stuff to.
Yeah,
I know.
there's no good time. There's no good time, so we're just trying to do the best we can.
Yeah, and you're doing an outstanding job. There's no doubt about it, so.
Appreciate that. And our staff is doing an awesome job.
We know that.
And if you don't mind, just maybe some updates on some of the other projects. If you haven't driven by Redwood lately, I would highly suggest you drive by because it's going to be your last chance to see the existing Redwood building because I think it's coming down next Monday and Tuesday. Next Tuesday it's going to start coming down. So We have started construction there. There's a construction fence up. We've got signs on there kind of promoting that this is projects being brought to you by the Parks referendum. All the trees have been cut down. They started removing fences. They're taking down light poles tomorrow, if it doesn't rain too bad. So things are starting to move at Redwood Park. If you haven't driven by Hayes Park, and I know most of you were there recently because we did a groundbreaking ceremony there, but there's a lot of activity going on there. Today they were putting in some of the underground storm sewer pipe that needs to go in. They've been putting in the drain tile on the soccer field that's going to be north of Hayes Arena, and they'll be doing that type of activity here in the very near future on the new quad field complex on the west side of the community center. So lots of things happening there. The 8 new pickleball courts that are going in at Johnny Cake, construction will start on Monday on that. Because school got out today, so they'll start construction there on Monday. Parts of that parking lot will be closed off, obviously, because of construction. The last couple days, we've had our irrigation contractor moving how big is that line?
I think it's a 6-inch main.
6-inch main irrigation line that would have been under the brand new pickleball courts. We moved that so it's not under the brand new pickleball courts. So they've been working on that the last couple days. And then right after the 4th of July, they'll start construction of the skate park. And the plan is to be done with that sometime around October-ish. All right. And then we should also point out that on Thursday, June 12th at 4:45, we're doing a ribbon cutting ceremony at Splash Valley. And so we invite the public to come and join us. If you're interested and want to swim, we'll let you in and try out Splash Valley from 5 to 6 at no charge next Thursday only from 5 to 6. So please join us if you can. I know all of you are invited, and I hope that you can make it and participate in the ribbon cutting with the City Council. And we are also got most of the trails around Cobblestone Lake torn up on the north side, and our contractor's working diligently to get that work done and put back together. We're hoping to get that back together by sometime in July. And what projects am I missing? Well, we've got the, 6 neighborhood parks that are out to bid right now. We open up bids on Thursday, a week from today at 2 o'clock. So we'll see what those numbers look like. My fingers are crossed the numbers come in lower than what they're estimating, because if they continue to go the wrong direction, we're gonna have to make some tough choices here coming up. So,
What about the dog parks?
the hockey rinks that we convert into off-leash dog areas, those were put into play probably in early April. In early April, so we've got that at Hunting and at Delaney and Huntington. So those are up and being used.
Any complaints?
Nope, no complaints that I'm aware of.
Good.
And now, am I missing anything?
Is there any updates on the city's negotiation with the county for County Road 42?
So there was an open house last night today's Thursday. So there was an open house on Tuesday evening at the Senior Center for the County Road 42 project. And so the county continues to move that project forward. They plan on doing the kind of the Redwood end of the project in 2027. And that includes the tunnel. So that'll be a little bit of a mess during 2027, probably into 2028. But sometimes that's what progress is all about, is making a mess first before you can make it better.
So they're going to do it in 2 different parts?
Well, they're not doing all of 42 at the same time. They're going to be doing it in stages, as I understand it. And then the other thing that we should mention is we've started to do the planning for the community center, senior center project, and that's where we're planning to build an addition, connect the 2 buildings, build an indoor playground, improve the coffee lounge, make some other improvements within the facility. So internally, we've started doing that planning. You'll start seeing some images and some getting involved in that process here probably in the next 60 to 90 days, because we hope to be out to bid by November-ish so that we can be breaking ground about March of 26.
2 small projects. The first one I love is the red bench projects, and putting the red bench in each park. Are we continuing to do that?
We haven't had much conversation about that, so we'll have to talk about that.
Okay. And Founder's Lane.
Founder's Lane.
You know how we're gonna put the bike stand and the imprints of the flight.
Yep. So our engineering department is handling that project, and I don't know where we're at with that project, so I apologize. But I'll find out, and I can update the Parks Committee at our next meeting.
Okay.
And I know Kayla will write a note so that she reminds us to do that.
Sorry.
As she's over there writing the note.
I mean, it's very small compared to Kelly Park
Yeah.
and all that kind of, which I love Kelly Park.
What's the red bench thing?
It faces the sunset. Each park had a red bench that faced the sunset. And it's along one of the trails there.
Each park had a red bench that,
That was the plan.
oh, was the plan.
Yeah.
Any other questions I can answer?
I have a question, just, it's really good to see projects going on and starting to be completed. Splash Valley was great, like we said earlier, but, great work. It's great to see everything moving along, so.
We got to spend that money.
Yeah. And don't forget, we started off all of these projects with the Hayes Arena project, which we started in March of '24, and we finished in early June of '24. And that project went off without a hit. And we didn't do a lot of fanfare about it. And most people don't really know what we did because it just looked a little bit like what it was before the project. But we did quite a bit of painting and touch-ups, and it really does look new. But, you know, the biggest investment was underground in the concrete with the new floor, and then with the refrigeration equipment on the outside. And that has worked out really, really well for us. So.
You guys have really done a phenomenal amount of work in an extraordinarily short amount of time.
Yeah, we're having fun at it. It's work, but we're having fun. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. All right, so that completes item D. The additional item was now item E. It involves the Redwood sign. What is the committee's thoughts on us making a suggestion to the city council to have them look at maybe getting that sign in place by the time the park is completed?
I don't have any problem with making a recommendation. The one thing that I'm curious about is how the county's plan for 42 would affect, like, I understand it would make sense at some level to have it, or to do it when we're redoing the building and the pool and the inclusive playground. But if it's going to be pretty close to the road, that may be a consideration, which of course the city council could,
Right, whatever the time frame
Yeah.
is, it's just that I think they need a push.
yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it may not get done at all.
I like the idea because we'll be able to tie that sign in to what we've done, you know? I like that because if we leave it up to the county, who knows what it's gonna look like?
Well, the city council may come back to us and want some help designing the sign. I mean,
Sure,
you
sure,
know,
of course they will.
You know, so it's not like we may not get involved in it, but it's not our project. But I think as an advisory committee, I think we can go to the city council and say, hey, we think you should make some progress on this, and
Right.
they're gonna have to find financing for it. I don't know how much the sign's gonna cost, and then they gotta come up with a design for it and get it implemented.
They're gonna come to us with that design and, yeah.
So,
Is that something that city staff could help us draft the language that we could approve at a future meeting, or are you wanting to come up with language now and actually?
well, Eric, maybe you can help. When I talked with Mr. Lowell, any conversations that this committee has with city council needs to go through you. I mean, there's no way for us to go have some sort of communication directly to the city council. At least that was what he told me. So how do you want us to, do we adopt a resolution? Do we say, what's the best way to get it to the city council if that's what we're deciding here?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, I'll use the Parks referendum as an example. You may recall that the committee was doing quite a bit of work early on, 21, 22 on the Parks referendum. Ultimately, you came to the conclusion and developed a memo that as a group you sent to the city council suggesting that the city council pursue a Parks referendum because of all the work you had done, meeting with the community, evaluating the system, et cetera, et cetera. So a suggestion could be for you to develop a memo that the commission approves, if you will, and then it gets sent on to the city council, encouraging them to, take these following steps, whatever those following steps may be.
Okay.
And as staff, we'd be happy to help craft that memo and have you review it and potentially support it and approve it at your next regular meeting, which wouldn't be until August, because July, we don't have a meeting because we're taking a tour of landscape structures, and we normally do a park tour. And I think that that's okay, as Craig mentioned, with the County Road 42 construction project, the part of Redwood Park south of 42 won't get really touched until the 42 project takes place, because a lot of what we're doing to that portion of the park is related to the 42 project with stormwater treatment, some natural areas, some loop trails and whatnot. So I think it would tie in well with the schedule that 42 will be on.
Okay.
And so I think you have time to breathe, if you will. And I don't think there's urgency to make the decision tonight. I think it could wait till August and still be very timely.
No, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we want to get it right, so
Yep.
if we need to come up with a memo, I think that would be great.
So we'll draft one. You guys can edit it and add to it and take away from it, and then ultimately you can make a recommendation if that's what the consensus is to do so, and then we can share that with the city council.
That would be great.
Okay?
Anybody in favor of that?
Yeah.
We're good?
I'm good.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
good with that.
Committee staff discussion items.
So from a staff perspective, we've kind of given our updates that we have for the evening. If there's questions that you have on anything related to Parks and Recreation, any one of us would be happy to try to answer questions that you have. Then obviously it's also time for committee members to talk about things related to Parks and Recreation or things they'd like us to talk about in the future. And you can see that we have a small list of things, and you can add to that list if you want to.
Members?
Nothing to add, but I would, Mr. Chair, like to take a moment to offer congratulations to Eric Carlson. Eric is currently serving as president of the Minnesota Recreation and Parks Association, which is the trade association for Minnesota Parks and Recreation professionals. And those professionals, close to 1,000 strong, elected Eric to be their president, their leader. And I think that is clearly a reflection of the respect he has around the state within the Parks and Recreation community, and just wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that honor and wish you all the best as you finish out your term the rest of the year.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Very wise choice.
We weren't busy enough, so we decided to take on
I was
something
gonna
else.
say, you had so much free time on your hands, ain't you?
Sure, your wife loved that.
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Kayla reminds me that on your dais is a picture of some signage, some reader board signage. So as part of our Park and Recreation sign master plan, there's some thought about putting reader board signs in certain parks within the community. So we don't want to discuss it tonight as much as we want to just kind of give you a taste of what we're potentially looking at, and want you to know that in August and in months to come, we're going to be having more in-depth conversations about that. Where should we put them? How many should we have? Should we have any of them? Understanding that there's a cost, they're not free. Are we going to get our return on our investment? Those kinds of things, replacement timeframes, et cetera. So just want to put that in front of you so that you know what they could look like, and we'll have more in-depth conversations about it in the near future.
But we do have some money in the budget for at least some of signs?
We do.
We do,
We
okay.
do, yep.
All right. So the future meeting items, this update on joint powers agreements has been on there for quite some time. Was that yours, Dave? Were you?
Yeah, it was just, I thought it was important that the committee understand what agreements the city has with District 196 related to parks. So at some point, we'd like to be able to see that.
And we can bring a report, an update report to the committee at the next meeting that you have in August. We had given an update to the city council about joint powers agreements a while ago, and so we can update that report and bring it to you as a Parks Committee at your August meeting.
Okay, that'd be great. And then volunteer opportunities, what was?
Yeah, that was me just hoping to get some visibility to how the public can maybe volunteer with some of the projects that are ongoing, if that's helping with landscaping or painting or any, like anything like that. So that's, I'm sure that that's something that's going to develop over time as projects come and go through this process, but just wanted to get that on there so that
Okay.
it's,
Buckthorn.
yeah, plenty of buckthorn, but.
And Mr. Chair, members of the committee, again, we can put together a report that talks a little bit about our Adopt a Park program. We can talk about the work that we do with Eagle Scouts and Cub Scouts when they have to do surface projects. Then there's a number of we get a number of contacts from kids in high school that have to do, maybe for a government class or at the School of Environmental Sciences, or they might have to do a project. And so we get contacted by them. So there's a lot of different groups that we work with, big and small, to help improve and maintain the park system. And so we can give an update about that fairly easily.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And like we have the electronic message center sign, we could put things on there. Right
Yep.
there. We could put things on there like volunteer opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, go to the website.
It's a good call out.
Type of thing.
All right, anything else, members?
Just, maybe this is the right time. Back on May 25th, there was a really great article in the St. Paul Pioneer Press, Apple Valley Park renovation to feature inclusive playground. It was all about what's happening at Kelly Park. They interviewed some of our city staff for that, and it was just a great article. I hopefully that helped educate the public.
Yeah, we ended up, from that article, it spawned, KMSP does a noon time, it's not a news program, it's more of a talk program. Anyways, they ended up doing an interview, and kind of did the same thing, only it was a live situation. So, a lot of positive feedback, a lot of positive interest in what's happening at Redwood Park. We can't wait for it to get built because we think the public is just going to love the playground. They're going to love the building. They're going to love the pool.
It's gonna be a big photo op.
Yep.
That big red octopus. That will definitely be, so. All right, if there's nothing else, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
Motion from Noel and a second from Craig. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? This meeting is adjourned.
Yep, yep.